Hey, I'm Charles Ivory. They call me the Waymaker, and this is my lovely wife, Judith Ivory.
Like the soap.
Hey, we like to share our MWR financial testimony with you guys, starting with the amazing experts. They saved us over $1,400 in tax savings, putting the money back into our paycheck. $600 back into mine.
And $800 back in mine.
That's $1,400 that went back into our household.
Yes.
The debt elimination team told us exactly what to do with the additional cash flow, and that was to put it on our credit card debt. By paying off all of our credit card debt, it actually increased our credit scores, where we was able to get lower interest rates on our existing mortgage. So we went from a 5.7 down to a 2.3. And we was able to pay off our existing home 16 years early, which saved us $300,000 in compound interest. Hey, the bill negotiation has also put $1,100 of our revolving debt back into our pockets, which are our revolving bills. And then we moved to the wealth strategy, where the wealth experts showed us how to get double-digit returns on our investment. See, we started off with a 401k and an IRA only getting about 4%. We called the experts, and they moved the 401k and the IRA to a land banking and the private reserve account, where private reserve brought us back 18% first year, and the land banking 35.5% first year. So the experts done some great things for us. We told a bunch of families and friends. We built a large enough team to where the compensation plan paid us enough to where we both was able to fire our boss within the first 8 months of us being into the business. And now we're building a beautiful dream home with lakefront property.
And it is 6,300 square feet. That may not mean a lot to some of you, but for us, that is a miracle, because we're the ordinary, everyday people just like you were.
MWR is changing lives for us and our family.
Absolutely.
So if you're thinking about if MWR, Make Wealth Real, is possible, we're here to tell you that it is possible.
This with your different teams, your different organizations, your different groups, so you can pick up some virality and show people why this is important. For those I've never met, my name is Brian Bean. I'm the founder of the Extra Digit Movement. And what that means is we show you how to grow your net worth one digit at a time. But we do it using strategies, not sales. Not a bunch of hype, not a bunch of fluff. We're a bunch of real people getting real results. It doesn't get any more real than what we're showing you guys. You're going to hear from some of our members tonight on how we're buying land, how we're getting trust funds, how we're creating trust fund babies, how we are purchasing our homes with cash, how we traveling the world internationally, how we're eliminating debt, just a lot of cool things. And we're very, very humble, but we're arguably one of the most successful organizations in the country right now, because we don't have to brag and boast about it. When you have net worth, remember, money talks, but wealth whispers. So that's what we do in our organization. We show people how to generate wealth, but we do it in a fun way, a very charismatic way. And we're going to use worksheets, basic worksheets, just like if you were in school and you took some notes and you filled in some blanks. That's what we're doing tonight. You can actually take the next 5 nights or 5 nights in a row. And if you had these sheets, which we give you access to, and it's going to be all uploaded on our mobile app as well. If you had these sheets, you could literally start a class with your children and show them 5 basic things that they need to understand about money. So before I bring on our special guest tonight, let me give you guys a quick update. While you go live on Facebook, trust me, go ahead and go live on Facebook. HowToIncreaseYourCashflow.com is our replay. And we're live right now on that website. Go ahead and go live and send this to your messengers and your groups. But before we do that, let me do a quick recap. So last night, we talked about stop leaving money on the table. What that basically means is a lot of people look for a pay raise, or a lot of people ask for more hours, or some people want to get another job, and other people need another degree. Well, what we do is simple. We say, look, start with your W-4. Your W-4 is the form that you filled out when you first got your job. A lot of people never revisit that form because what? They signed it or filled it out a long time ago. And your employer by law really can't help you figure it out. So what we do is we get into a room, we got a job, we're excited. When we put down 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, when the fact of the matter is, the more ones you have on that form, the less money that comes out your check. The less money that comes out your check, the more money you have to take home, because taxes aren't as high. The more money you take home, the more money you have to invest. So without any extra hours, without any overtime, without asking your boss for a pay raise, without you getting a second job, you can literally give yourself a $300, $200, $600. I've seen as much as $1,200 pay raise. In our company, Make Wealth Real, we call that an instant pay raise. So we have enrolled agents that actually help you with the best kept secret, the Form W-4. That basically means you're turning your deductions into exemptions. There's a big difference. Your deductions are, I'm married, had a household, I have children, I have a house. These are basic things that the country gives you so that you can have what are called tax deductions. But a lot of people don't understand their exemptions. Exemptions have to be converted to deductions. It sounds like it's all hard, but it's really not. It basically means the government, if you have a home-based business, gives you certain exemptions that you don't get if you don't have a business. So here's my question. Why doesn't everybody on the planet have a home-based business? So make sure you guys get with the person who invited you and get session number 1 that they never will teach you in schools about how to put more money in your paycheck. Tonight's a little different, man. Tonight is about session number 2. We call this the bloody mess. That's right, because it's all red. Most people don't understand that other than taxes, their debt is their biggest expense. And I want y'all to write that down. Taxes, number 1, debt, number 2, your biggest expense on the planet. So we're going to spend tonight and tomorrow and Wednesday and finally Thursday, that's the last night, we're going to spend the next 4 nights giving you some wealth principles and tips in plain things that are hidden in plain sight that you'll never learn in school. So tonight is about the debt. Here's what I want you guys to write down. Taxes cause debt. See, in other words, the sequence is very important. Last night we tackled the taxes. Well, if you don't get a handle on your taxes, property taxes, sales taxes, ad valorem taxes, luxury taxes, capital gain taxes, federal taxes, state taxes, inheritance taxes. See how that works? If you don't get a handle on your income taxes and your federal taxes, then they'll cause you to be in more debt. So tonight we're going to show you guys how the banks, your second largest problem is the banks, take a lot of money out your pocket in the form of debt. Here is what I want you guys to write down. Very important. When I learned this changed my life. Interest is the penalty you pay for the right to own things in advance you cannot afford. Let me say this again. Interest is the penalty you pay for the right to own things in advance that you cannot afford. That statement changed my life. I had a totally different outlook on my finances when I heard that statement. Wait, interest is the penalty I pay for the right to own things in advance I can't afford. What that means is that trip to Disney I took way back in the early 2000s, or that steak, that meal that you bought last week that you're not going to pay off until 2 months from now. You got a special steak, but it costs you 2 and 3 times more. That vehicle that I purchased because I got a high or low credit score, high interest rate, I ended up buying 2 vehicles for the price of 1 because it's really depreciating. It bothers me when people say, that's a depreciating asset. No, it's not an asset at all. There's really no such thing as a depreciating asset. And you'll hear some professionals say it. That's a depreciating asset. It's not an asset at all. A car is a liability. You see, so when you start learning these things and you see your money going out the window and you see banks taking advantage of you, you'll start to look at interest totally different. Interest is the penalty you pay for the right to own something in advance you cannot afford. So what you're saying is, I need something so bad that I'm willing to pay more for it because I need it right now. And I'm going to give the banks some free money in order for me to get it. Woo, that's pretty serious. Now, let me say this before I bring up our special guest. And I'm going to give you guys some testimonies after we do this worksheet. There is installment debt and there is revolving debt. Tonight, we're talking about revolving debt. Installment debt, there's nothing really horrific about installment debt. In other words, you have to have a mortgage. You got to have a place to stay, right? We just hope that the interest rate is really low. We're not saying everybody can afford to buy cars with cash. We're not being that insensitive. You may have to get a loan to get your car. We're just hoping the interest rate is really low. So installment debt is not a bad thing. It's nothing wrong with a few student loans. If you had to go to college and knock that out, if you have a job that's paying back the student loans in record time, that's installment debt. Mortgage, car note, student loan. What we're talking about tonight is your revolving debt. That's a problem. You got 3 or 4 credit cards, and before you even make the minimum payment, they're already charging you next month. And only a small percentage of your payment is actually going towards the principal. That means what you're saying is, look, for every dollar I give you, they lend you, you got to pay $1.30 back. You know, that's when it gets out of control. So tonight we're talking about your revolving debt. Tomorrow we got a big secret. The day after that, we got a big secret. And we're going to close with the biggest secret of them all. But I want you guys to buckle up, man. Do me a favor. I want you to come off mute so this young lady can introduce this to you guys. I have a lot of respect for her because not only is she the epitome of success, she is working this business with her husband, and they're the epitome of what a couple can do when you come together and make finances part of the entire family. This young lady is earning residual income every single month. A lot of people understand income, but they don't understand residual income. They don't understand passive income. She's one of the best trained. She's been to more of our Game Changer quarterly events than a lot of people on this Zoom combined. When I tell you she's committed to the cause, she's committed. I've been to her home. I'm telling you, I want her to put her business out there, but she has one of the nicest homes I've ever been to on the planet in the DC area, the DMV. Y'all do me a favor, man. Come off mute to introduce you guys to the wealth worksheet known as the Bloody Mess. Come off mute for Miss Tia Glenn. Let her know. Come off mute, man. How y'all feeling?
Tia, what's up?
Now let me find out where she is first. Hold on. She's on the Zoom somewhere. Hold on, Tia. Let me find you. Tia, do me a favor and wave your hand like this. Okay, she must be on page 2. Hold on. There she is. All right, man. Miss Tia, come off mute. How you feeling?
Feeling amazing. Can you hear me okay, Brian?
How can you find? As usual, Tia, you look the part. You ready to make this happen?
I am ready to make this happen.
Okay, so Tia, before we show them lesson 2 of 5, our company, MWR Financial, although this is not an overview tonight, a lot of people are going to see this on the replay. It may be a few hundred people tonight, but thousands of people will see it by tomorrow. What has MWR actually done for you? What has it meant to be a member of Extra Digit MWR? What has it done for your family?
Well, listen, Brian, MWR and just your teaching and training has been amazing. Since getting started, my husband and I, we had bought a home right at the beginning of the pandemic. Wow. And so after working with MWR, they were able to raise our credit scores collectively 100 points. We were in the mid 700s. Now we're both in the 800 club, which allowed us to refinance our home and lock in a 2.25% interest rate, which is going to save us $270,000 in interest over the life of that loan. Not only that, Brian, instead of paying this mortgage off in 30 years, we are positioned to pay it off in 12, and we're actually accelerating that. We're going to try to pay it off in 8 to 10. It has just been amazing. The residual income that I'm earning each and every month, it's not like the job where I have to go and work 8 to faint. This is money coming in over and over and over again, and it just feels incredible. Also, my husband and I purchased land in the path of growth. I have my deed on that land.
Let's go.
And it's just been amazing. This company has really, really changed our life, and we are so excited to be partnered with you and MWR.
I love it, man. She's talking about the land banking, guys. I told you guys we're buying land with cash. And T is very humble, and we're trained to do this in extra digits. So I'll take some blame for it. We don't brag, we don't boast, we don't really talk a whole lot about what we have. But I'll tell you guys, she has $1 million home. It's an amazing house here. Your legacy is secure, your children are secure. We have the trust funds and everything else that we can now offer your family. But to know that you got a 2-point-something% interest rate, you and your husband are in the 800s, you got $1 million home in the DMV. What can people look forward to in that area? Are you going to help us pioneer the whole East Coast and beyond? Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. I am ready.
All right, good. I'm going to be up there real soon, so I look forward to it.
I look forward.
The bloody mess. You ready to show people what credit cards can do for them if they're not careful? Yes. All right, here we go. New people, write this down. Your balance on this card is $5,000. That's what I want you guys to write down. I want you to write down your balance on this card is $5,000. Now, Tia, I'm going to hit enter when you say go. I want you to take it from here. Why do we call this the bloody mess? How much do they owe? And let's just say they went to, I don't know, a vacation to Disney World, took the kids. We know it's way more than $5,000. But let's say a few years ago, they got a $5,000 balance. What's next?
Okay. So let's say, as you said, Brian, that you owe $5,000, right? And so most people focus on that monthly minimum payment, right? Yes. What is the amount that you're going to have to pay every month? And people usually stop there. And so let's just say on that $5,000 balance, you're going to pay $100 a month.
Okay.
And that's your payment.
You mean to tell me the bank set this up, Tia? They act like they're doing you a favor. They say, hey, just give us $100 a month, and we act like they're helping us out, right?
Absolutely. And most of the time, the banks are even going to focus on how much can you afford to pay per month? And they're going to focus you on that minimum payment because they don't want you to know about this bloody mess that we're about to talk about.
Okay, good. So the minimum payment we're going to give them is $100 a month. We owe $5,000. They're doing us a quote unquote favor. What's next?
All right. So then they're going to tell you what your annual interest rate is going to be. What's your percentage rate that you are going to pay back on this loan? So let's just say that's going to be 21%.
Cool. Now, Tia, from what I understand, let me come off you. Let's make sure we look at everybody in the eye on this one. 21%, believe it or not. Tia, have you seen higher before?
I have.
I've seen higher. Have you seen people with 2 and 3 and 4 of these?
Yes.
So believe it or not, the example that she's about to give you, I would say is conservative. Tia, would you agree that this is not most Americans? This person is actually doing okay if they got one credit card with 21%. Right. This is not most people, but I want y'all to understand what she's saying. 21%. So Tia, what happens now? What kind of math? This is where they kind of trick you on line number 4. What do we need to do?
Right. So here's where most people never calculate the monthly interest rate because most people don't even know that exists. Okay. So you got to take that 21% and you actually need to divide that number by 12 for 12 months. And so when you do that math, that 21% divided by 12 months, it's going to give you a percentage. Let's just say 0.0175 or 1.75%.
And that's the trick. Hey, Tia, that's pretty low. That ain't no big deal, is it? Right? That's the trick, Tia. That's how they hide the plain sight. 1.75 is the interest rate that compounds monthly because you keep carrying this balance over. All right, so we're on line 4. Now what do we do, Tia? We got that magical number. What's happening?
Now you got that number. You're going to take that 1.75% and you're going to multiply it by that $5,000 that you originally borrowed.
Okay. And we're going to come up with, boom,
$87.50.
Woo. Now that doesn't sound like a lot to you, but if they notice, what is line 5 labeled? Okay, so that'll hit you different.
Your interest payment.
Woo. So of the $100, if I'm not mistaken, what do they have to do to understand what the principal is? The $87.50 you telling me is just the interest?
Correct. So you're going to take that $100 that you're paying, that monthly minimum payment that most people are paying, and you're going to subtract your monthly interest that's accruing, that $87.50.
Boom.
And you're going to get
$12.50.
$12.50.
Okay, so Now, this is where I like to talk to people, right? We got to look them in the eye to layman terms. For every 100 I'm giving you, 1250 is going towards the 5,000. That's hard to comprehend, but guys, that's the way it is. And you got people with 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 of these. For every $100, what you're saying is, look, the bank is saying, I'm gonna give you 5,000. But for every 100 you give me, we need 8750. Now 1250 is going towards the 5,000. So what we got to do, Tia, on the next line, people don't want to do this math, but they got to do it. This is the most important math you can do.
Right.
How long is it going to take you at 1250 to get to the 5,000? Line 7, your reality is what?
120 payments.
Whew. Everybody let that just soak in for a minute. That's what you're doing. So, if we take 120 payments, how many months is in a year?
12 months in a year.
You have hereby
10 years.
Sentenced to 10 years.
For $5,000.
And you got more than one of these. This is why it's important that we hurry up and use lesson 1. See, when we do these wealth worksheets, they cascade off of each other. You got to do lesson 1 to get the extra money from the taxes from the government, not a refund, get your money throughout the year so you can attack this 10 years, right, Tia? So when you said earlier that, you got a 2.7% interest, you got $1 million house, but it's going to pay off. How much time are you going to say?
12 years. We're looking at 10 years.
10 years instead of 30. See, that's all the interest that she's saving. Now, guys, the person that introduced you to this webinar, I'll show you all the different things that we do. All our experts and all of our different firms. But one of them is we eliminate debt in record time. We average about $64,000 per member in debt elimination. $64,000 gone per member in debt elimination. So Tia, let's add this bad boy up. If you sleep on this, the bank earns what?
$1,986.28
off of the 5,000. So you end up paying back $11,986. The bank made a free $6,986 off your $5,000 trip that you went to in the early 2000s.
Yep.
This is what people miss. Tia, anything you want to add just about, your knowledge, your experience, your wisdom, your understanding? What do you do for a living, and why is this topic so important to you as a professional?
Sure, absolutely. I'm a controller, and I'm the CFO's boss, essentially. I'm the one who tells him or her how much money they can spend in the organization. So I manage the budget and all aspects of accounting for organizations. And the bloody mess is near and dear to my heart because, as I said earlier, most people focus in on that monthly minimum payment and they never add anything additional to that to help snowball that debt so that you're not in this position where the bank is capitalizing on you not understanding how to do this simple math. Once you calculate that and you see how much money you're wasting and sending to the bank, you can quickly change that scenario and pay that debt off and not get played through this bloody mess. So it is so important to educate yourself financially. And that is why I connected with the Extra Digit movement, because they educate you. And education, knowledge is power, but only when you apply that knowledge to your situation does it change the trajectory of your life. So this is awesome. And I'm telling you, you need to take this wisdom and not just listen to it, but apply it to your specific scenario today. Don't waste another dime not doing this math and getting out of debt.
Y'all see why I love it, man. No, y'all see why I love her. I love it, Tia. I appreciate it. And you did a great job. I mean, it's a very simple form, but you hit it right on the head, man. It's hidden in plain sight. And Tia said, I'm the CFO's boss. That means she's the controller of the funds. Tia, why don't they teach these things in school? Why isn't this like the number one thing they teach us our freshman year in finance? Why would they hide this from somebody? You got to have like a job like yours or be an Extra Digit to learn this interest stuff. Why do you think it's hidden?
Because it's capitalism. It's a cash extraction cycle. They want you to stay in that rat race and that cycle so that the banks continue to earn the interest and the spread that they're earning on you not knowing this information.
That's it. And the longer they keep you in the dark, the more money they make off you. It's not some conspiracy theory. It's not some guy in a smoke-filled room. I keep a little fake cigarette with me. It's not some guy in a smoke-filled room saying, how can we get them? But what I do believe is that different institutions are put in place to take, as I puff, to take your money and keep you in the dark. And the longer you stay in the dark, the more people get to act like, the more people get to take advantage of the fact that they're acting like they're doing you a favor and they're really not. So the bank can give you, yeah, but your money's working for them through perpetuity. Tia, I appreciate you. You ready to bring up some testimonies?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. So before we do that, guys, let me just explain something to you. That's $6,900 extra. The bank takes that money and they use a concept called arbitrage. Arbitrage is where the bank can loan 10 times the money that they have on the books. In other words, if they have $1 million on their books, they can claim 10 million legally, ethically, and morally. If they have $100 million on the books, they can claim $1 billion legally, ethically, and morally. But I want y'all to put this in the comments. That's my money. See, when you gave the extra, the reason the banks can do it, everybody gave them, in this example, an extra almost $7,000. So the bank can say, hey, we have $1 billion on the books, even if they only have 100 million. The banks can say we have 10 billion on the books, even if they only have 1 billion. They're allowed to borrow 10 times the amount they actually have. When I learned this, Tia, I learned the game. The banks don't have any money. The banks
do not.
They don't have a dime. The banks have your money. That's why they penalize you if you touch it early. That's why they offer you a savings account with bounce protection. That's why you have a monthly maintenance fee. That's why they charge you for cashier's checks. That's why they want you to leave a certain minimum balance in, because they're loaning your money 10 times, even though your money's not there. That's why the banks hope and bank on the fact that you will not all come and get your money at the same time. Let me give everybody a quick education. Why do you think we call it currency? Because your money must flow. That's why it's called currency. Why do you think they call the land alongside of a river the bank? Get it? So the bank is actually responsible for stopping the flow of your currency. But when you become the bank, which is what we teach you in Extra Digit, and you become the currency and you got your money flowing in the proper channels, then that money flows back to you and you actually flip the game upside down and become what they don't want you to become, which is the bank. Just a little lesson I learned a long time ago to show you guys how money actually flows. The person who introduced you to tonight's webinar will show you how we're getting rid of debt, how we're minimizing taxes, how we're raising our credit scores, how we're getting passive income, how we're becoming the banks. Extra Digit, do me a favor. Raise your hand if you got a testimony on some debt you've eliminated and how you actually did it using your W-4. Give me a virtual hand raise. I'm gonna call on you real quick. Let's end with some powerful, powerful testimonies before me and Tia get out of here. Raise them up, raise them up, raise them up. Miss Sheila Rawls. What's up, Sheila?
Hey, I'm still hanging around.
I'm glad. Talk to me real quick. What happened with your debt elimination and where did it start? How much did you get rid of?
Oh, I got rid of hundreds of thousands of dollars of interest. Okay, so when I joined MWR, I was employed at the time, so I submitted my last 2 pay stubs. It brought me back an extra $365 back into my household. I used that income to pay down 2 of my credit cards, which in turn increased my credit score, and that allowed me to refinance my house. Within refinancing my house, I was able to pay off a brand new 2020 Chevy Traverse, which eliminated another $500 from debt, which was bills. I also was receiving $20 a day, which is $600 a month for the level that I was on, star level 2. But in turn, I ended up with no car note. When I refinanced my house for another 30 years, they would have had me in debt till I was 190 years old.
Wow.
So I saved over 200 and something $1,000 in debt. So that 30-year finance, I'm still able to pay off a new refinanced house for 30 years in 16 years.
Crazy. So at 190, you mean to tell me the man upstairs would have cared about your credit card still, right? These guys will have you in debt the rest of your natural life if you're not careful. Way to knock it out. It started with your
$5 a month back into my household.
So that's the session from yesterday, guys. Remember, we're doing 5 days in a row. So if you haven't, go back and see the replay on the adjustment of your W-4. And then let's give one more summary. You paid off how much debt using that money and snowballed it?
I paid off 2 credit cards. And like I say, I was able to pay off the truck. That was $36,000. I forgot the bill elimination.
Yeah.
So overall, on average, it brought me an extra $2,000 a month back into my household.
Nice.
And I'm loving it.
I love it. All right, let's bring up maybe 2 more real quick. Miss Kim Whitfield, talk to me. How did the experts help you and make wealth real? Let's show the new people how simple it is to upload their documents and make this happen. Our 30 minutes of fame is expiring. What happened to you?
I uploaded those documents like you're talking about, my 2 pay stubs, my last tax return, and they got $200 back into my paycheck a month. I took that $200 and I was able to pay off some credit cards. I paid off 3 credit cards initially, and I just paid off 2 more this month. So I'm all excited about that. But paying off those credit cards also helped my credit score go from a 646 to an 803. That allowed me, like Ms. Tia Glenn, to be able to purchase my home for a 2.9% interest rate. The experts also helped me get that mortgage that was 30 years down to 12, and it's going to save me over $58,000 in interest that now I can use to invest in something else. So the plan, take my money back off from the table, using the experts, not letting the banks take my money with the interest, it's game changer for me.
It's game changing. $58,000, almost $60,000 she saved. Credit score is up like crazy. She had an $18,000 pay decrease due to a relocation, but everything that the experts do in our company helps you get your cash flow back up. Positive, congratulations. Great job. I see the AKAs in the building. Okay, Mr. Charles Ivory. Let's end with Charles here. Charles is actually a recipient of the financial. Okay, Charles, let's go, man. Come on. No, I ain't got time. This thing heavy. All right, here we go. Charles, what exactly does this mean to you, man? How did it all start with your W-4 adjustment? MWR Financial gives you this big, huge championship belt when you make a large purchase or you use the services in a way that impacts your life passively. Charles, what'd you do to earn this bad boy?
Well, Brian, going back to yesterday's class, man, we adjusted our W-4, my wife and I, and brought back $1,400 back into our household. With our debt elimination plan, we took that $1,400 and we placed it on our debt. We had $80,000 in credit card debt. And it's amazing how when you speed up that process, how fast you can pay it off.
Yep.
When we paid off our debt, our credit scores went up. So we was able to refinance our home, went from a 5.7 to a 2.3, and we was able to pay off our mortgage 16 years early, which saved us $300,000 in compound interest. So Tia, you did an amazing job explaining that, because bringing that money back into our household allowed us to do other things when it comes to investing with some of the other products that we have in this amazing company. But it all started with yesterday, taking that money back and then applying it to that debt and getting rid of that compound interest that we're cursed with.
So that's the old house. So the old house you have, let's call it the old house, but it's the house you're in now, because we're going to give them a surprise in a second. It's paid for, got the deed in hand, no debt.
Yes, sir. Paid in full.
Paid in full. Now, you also took some cash and bought the land for your new house. You care to tell us a little bit about the new house and how it's coming?
Well, yeah, since we was able to bring back our cash flow back into our home, along with, the compensation plan that we have with this business, we was able to purchase our land in cash. Now, Brian, it was important for us to buy that land when we did, because that land grew $100,000 from then till now.
I know that's right. You got equity already.
Yeah, that land had grew big time. So we was fortunate enough to get it at a very good price. And now we're building our dream home on 1.5 acres, and we're building a 6,000 square foot home as we speak. Hopefully we move in next month.
Next month already?
Wow.
Yeah, hey, we're putting in cabinets.
Y'all putting in
Wow.
Well, this thing, look, Toss, to the outsider, it flew by, but you like, man, it's been a long journey, right?
Over a year.
Over a year. Well, man, I told y'all in Extra Digit, we train not to kind of brag, but we brag for you. The man has a detachment that's bigger than most people's houses. So his detachment, the second structure on his acreage, is bigger than some people's houses. His main house is 6,000 square feet. He's got the water behind him. They own commercial real estate. They own their house they're in right now, debt-free and clear. The land on the new house was paid for with cash. His car, MWR, paid for because he's earning 5 figures a month in residual income, and both credit scores are in the 800s. Him and his lovely wife, Cookie, have 800 credit scores. And just real quick, so we can just brag for a second, your son is how old, and he's a trust fund baby?
He's a trust fund baby. He's also a business owner, earning $1,500 a month, $50 a day. Yes, we trying to bring him up right, teach him early. He got a private reserve account too, so he's got a retirement plan already.
And people might think he's 20, 22. How old is he?
He's 4.
He's 4. Okay, I was okay. So, guys, when we say we actually live a legacy and not just leave a legacy, that's what we do, man. I appreciate it, Mr. Ivory. Y'all do me a favor, man. Give it up on Come Off Mute for all the testimonies in Extra Digits tonight. Give it up, give it up, give it up.
All right. Good job.
Represent everybody. That's
Yes.
great win.
You guys, awesome job.
Absolutely.
So, hey, Tia, you did a great job. I really appreciate it. And guys, it's just a cool way for us to come together. We call this Final Exam Week, right? I don't care if you see this replay 2 years from now on our mobile app, because we upload all of our trainings on our mobile app so you can share it with people. It doesn't matter when you see it, but basically the kids are getting out of school, the kids are graduating. We're excited for everybody who has a child who just finished college or just finished high school or going from middle school to high school or elementary school to middle school. It doesn't matter. Continue your education. But in EDM, we show you some stuff they're just not going to teach you. So then you got us on the side helping your family get this money in order. Tia, you did a great job. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, Brian.
Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome. Tomorrow, guys, I got another special guest. Tomorrow, we're going to show you the banker's secret. There's a secret that the bank has on how they get double-digit returns, where they put their money. We're going to show you how to put your money right there. We're going to show you the banker's secret and show you the consequences of not using the secret that they know. We're going to pull back the curtain and reveal the secret. Same time, same Zoom, same password. That'll be night 3 of 5. This bad boy ends Thursday night. So that'll be the final night this coming Thursday. So tune in tomorrow for the banker's secret. Invite some more people. I'm Brian Bean. I'll see you guys in the magazines. On behalf of Tia Glenn, have a good night.
Taxes, bills, credit, debt, inflation. These are some of the most depressing financial words in the English language. Why? Because they identify where your money is going, why over 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and exactly what's keeping over 90% of Americans from ever becoming wealthy. Think about it. The government takes 1/3 of your income for taxes. The banks take another third to service your debts, and big business combined with inflation takes the remaining 1/3 of your income to cover your monthly bills and normal living expenses. Sounds depressing, right? Well, let me cheer you up with another word that can eliminate all of these challenges. Cash flow. This one little word is the key to everyone's financial success, and MWR is the first and only company to provide a complete cash flow system designed to make wealth real for you and your family. So, how does this system work? Well, I'm glad you asked. Because over the next few minutes, you're going to learn how we've already helped thousands of people just like you increase the cash flow from their existing income, create more cash flow with a residual business income, and multiply their cash flow with multiple streams of passive investment income, giving them everything they need to become wealthy in record time. This all starts with the Increase My Cash Flow portion of our membership. where we provide you with a team of financial experts to reduce your taxes, lower your bills, eliminate your debts, and raise your credit scores all at the same time. And if you're a renter, our affordable housing experts can also provide you with everything you need to become a homeowner, regardless of your past credit history or your current credit scores, so you can start building equity for yourself instead of a landlord. These services have literally increased our members' cash flow by hundreds and even thousands of dollars every month, allowing them to keep more of their hard-earned money instead of just giving it away to the government, banks, and big business. And best of all, our experts do all the work. But it doesn't stop there. The next thing we need to do is help you create more cash flow. That's exactly why we've designed one of the most profitable home-based business opportunities ever. By simply referring our membership and opportunity to others, you can add to your cash flow with our daily guaranteed residual income of $5 up to $15,000 per day. That's right. This one income stream can allow you to earn over $5.5 million per year. And we've made it easy. As a matter of fact, by simply referring MWR to a few, who refer it to a few, and so on, you can be earning $20 a day or $600 a month with as few as 12 members on your team. And with less than 500 members on your team, you could be earning a six-figure residual income, money that comes in month after month for something you and your team did just one time. With that said, how many people do you know that would like more cash flow? Well, according to national statistics, 9 out of every 10 people you know either want or need more cash flow, which is what makes MWR such an amazing opportunity. And because our cash flow system is designed to put more money in our members' pockets every month than what it costs them to be a member, you'll get to benefit from one of the highest member retention rates in the industry, allowing you to add to your income every month instead of constantly trading your time to replace it. But that's not all. If you're looking for the fastest ways to earn hundreds or even thousands of dollars in immediate income, you'll definitely want to check out our full compensation plan to see how our sponsor, momentum, performance, and leadership bonuses can put even more money in your pocket on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. Now, I know for some of you this may sound too good to be true. So here's just a list of a few of our team members that have already become millionaire residual income earners with MWR in just months instead of years or decades. And you could be next. Now that you know how our experts can increase the cash flow from your existing income, and how our opportunity can help you create more cash flow with our daily residual business income, there's only one thing left to do. It's time to multiply your cash flow. This is where our experts provide you with everything you need to get your money working for you. Imagine participating in currency trading, where all your trades are done for you by licensed experts with a proven track record of success. Or how about becoming your own bank with a private reserve account or diversified cash flow account that can provide you with the best ways to save, grow, and protect your money tax-free with no risk of loss, while also giving you the ability to borrow from yourself and continue earning interests and dividends, as if the money you borrowed never left your account, allowing you to double dip on your returns. You heard me right. Using these strategies can allow you to invest in things like land or real estate and be earning compound interest or cash flow in two places at the same time, using the same money for both investments, just like the wealthy have done for decades. And our experts can even locate land investments for you through our land banking program, where you can buy portions of land in the path of growth 20 to 40% below market value. So your money works for you instead of you working for your money. This is the key to achieving time and financial freedom, so you can live a life filled with freedom, options, and choices. With that said, I'm sure you're probably thinking all this is going to cost you hundreds or even thousands of dollars, and it would be worth every penny. However, it's not $1,000, $500, or even $300. As a matter of fact, if you just want access to our services and experts, you can literally get started with an MWR membership for just $149.97 per month. This includes your spouse with no setup fees or contracts, and simply by referring 3 customers, you can make your membership absolutely free. However, if you're serious about increasing, creating, and multiplying your cash flow like never before, and you want everything MWR Financial has to offer, you can get started for just $249.97. This includes a one-time business activation fee of $100 and your first month's membership fee of $149.97, all of which can be covered by the additional cash flow we just discussed. This will also give you your own MWR at home business and MWR membership, which includes a biz center to manage your business, all of the services and experts included in our membership for both you and your spouse, as well as all the websites, capture systems, marketing materials, tools, ongoing training, and support you need to succeed. All you have to do is expose, our leaders educate, and our experts execute. It's that simple. And if that's not enough, we've decided to make this decision even easier by guaranteeing your success. Yeah, you heard me right. Again, if you follow our plan of action and our opportunity, strategies, or experts are not able to help you save, make, or grow even more cash flow in your first 30 days, MWR Financial will give you a full refund. So, what are you waiting for? All you need to do now is decide whether you're a 2 or a 1. You're a 2 if you're not interested in earning more money, but you would love to have our MWR membership to help you reduce your taxes, lower your monthly bills, eliminate your debts, restore your credit, fire your landlord, and get your money making even more money for you. And you're a 1 if we had you at hello and you're ready to maximize your cash flow like never before. Just get back to the person that referred you. Tell them whether you're a 2 or a 1, and let me be the first to welcome you to the MWR Financial family.